What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Risky Ryan Trades. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about the Mag 7, the NASDAQ, how the Mag 7 has been absolutely obliterating everything. It's holding up the entire market this year. And, you know, should you invest? How much should you invest in there? I mean, that's kind of what we're going to be discussing in this video. Quick disclaimer, trading is risky. If you lose money trading, don't blame me. This is for entertainment purposes only, but hopefully you learn something. So there's been a lot of talk about how the largest companies, the Magnificent Seven, your Amazons, Nvidias, Microsoft, Apple, Tesla, how these companies are breaking away from the rest of the market. So I wanted to take a look. There is an ETF called Mags, M-A-G-S, which is the Mag 7. And I have here on bar chart a comparison between Mags and the NASDAQ. And as you can see, since the formation of this ETF, which was back in April of 23, it's steadily outperformed. But as we'll see, there was a turning point where it absolutely broke away. At no point since its inception would you have been wrong to buy it versus the NASDAQ. If you're willing to accept the risk that comes along with a high beta, which the NASDAQ gives you and these tech stocks give you, you would have outperformed. And you can see here as I scroll along, you know, like if you entered at this point, you know, this is your performance. So like had you entered January, February, March, like May 17th-ish, May 15th of 2023, you would have tracked the NASDAQ. It was essentially tracking the NASDAQ perfectly until February of 2024. Since February of 2024, it is completely broken away from the NASDAQ. And, you know, a lot of people say, is this sustainable? Probably not. It probably isn't. Is it likely to continue for the near future? I would say, yeah. I don't think there are any economic conditions that are going to be changing in the next 3 months, you know, the next quarter, that is going to be any different than the last couple quarters, barring some sort of surprise regarding the election or a downturn in our economy. However, you know, if you're invested in the Qs or in anything else, you're going to see a downturn. And what I like about this chart, you can see, so like say that you bought at the very peak right here, and it was so far away from the Qs. So let's just take a look at what would have happened had you done that. So at the absolute wrong moment you buy it, you would have seen it drawn down very similar to the Qs, but the recovery was much stronger. So I'm a little nervous to buy today because, like, just look how separated it has gotten from the Qs. However, I'm very intrigued. We've had some big candles from Meta, Tesla, Amazon, even Microsoft. These companies they're popping right now, and I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't a little worried that this is just a blow off the top and then they're going to come down and then breath will happen. But I don't think that happens until we get rate cuts, and I don't think we get rate cuts this month. I think it's more likely that we get them in September. But I wouldn't be surprised if there were rate cuts. And if there are, that's not necessarily bad for these companies. Keep in mind, these are high growth tech stocks that were supposed to suffer under a high rate environment. Yet they were the only companies that actually held up and, you know, survived the high rate environment. So I do have a portion of my, you know, portfolio in the Qs, and like if there's a couple consecutive red days, I will be cycling them into Mag 7 and just getting a little bit more concentrated, because that is what appears to be. Look at the difference. If you had just at the start of the year, the Qs have done an amazing 24%, but the Mag 7 has done 50%. Whew, double. it's doubled the performance of the NASDAQ. It's hard to ignore this, and it just keeps getting crazier and crazier. So I wanted to bring this to your attention. If you're having a hard time picking, which, should I buy Amazon? Should I buy Apple? Should I chase Meta and Tesla? What should I do? This is a way to be concentrated yet diversify. So yeah, I mean, I just wanted to bring this to your attention. I found this really intriguing, and yeah, I'm pretty bullish on this, and I do see the outperformance continuing. Now, since the last week, let's just take a look at the last 5 days. It's doubling the performance. It's totally broken away. The last month, we're double the performance. And since here, it's almost triple. So hard to take your eyes away from this, hard to ignore. If you want to outperform the S&P 500 and the Qs, and you're willing to take on a little bit of extra risk, rotating into this and maybe, riding the wave a little bit, keeping a close eye on the trend, it might not be a bad idea. It's something that I have my eyes on. So I hope that was interesting to you. The ETF is MAGS. If I see some red days, some consolidation after this latest pop, I will be looking to rotate some of my, Vanguard Technology and SCHG, high growth, large cap, and my QQQM position into the Mag 7 to give it a little turbocharge and see if we can't keep riding this wave. I do really see outperformance in the future, the near future continuing, especially with Amazon. It looks like it wants 215, 220 so bad. Meta seems to be breaking out. Tesla seems to be rolling. Google's due. So yeah, things look good in the near future, but I would not be surprised if we see some kind of pullback. So that's kind of what I'm waiting to see. I'm waiting to see, because a pullback, the pullback that you're going to see in this is going to be a little bit more than the Qs because they're a little bit more diversified. At least that's kind of what I see here. When there's a pullback, it comes down a little bit more. So DCAing out of those other positions into this one, and then once the recovery inevitably happens, I would expect to see that pay off. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, smash that like button. If you have watched a few of my videos and you're getting value out of it, consider becoming a subscriber. And if you have something that I want to take a look at and you want my opinion on, leave a comment below. And maybe just leave a comment below anyway. It helps the algorithm. But anyways, I will catch you in the next week. Good luck trading. Ryan out.